Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, Global Impromptu Speaking family. Thank you so much for joining us today. Right now we are 23 number and today's session is 48 session, which is going to be led by our own very charming Toastmaster Daisy. But before we call her up on stage, we want to learn how our timing is going to be worked by Toastmaster Anupama. Can I request Toastmaster Anupama to explain the timing mechanism, please?
Yeah, sure. Good evening, everybody. The timing mechanism is you can pin me up. Please pin me up as you're about to speak. After 1 minute, my background color will become green. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, it will be yellow. And after 2 minutes, it will become red. Once you see the red background, try to wrap it up within 30 seconds. All the best to everyone.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anupam. Can we all give her a big hand, please, for chipping in as a timer, which is a key role? Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to speak for 2 minutes, plus minus. You are requested to speak at least for a minute till the green light and maximum till the red light for 2 minutes. So make sure you culminate your version, your speech, your topic in 2 minutes so we can accommodate maximum number of participants. Today, as all spoke, today word of the day is culminate. I wish this session or this global impromptu speaking journey will never culminate, but we will enjoy the journey of learning forever in our lives because we are helping each other, we are supporting each other, and we are empowering our own self as well before we do anything for anybody else. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our today's topics master, none other than a very charming, ever smiling, ever supportive Toastmaster Daisy Xavier. Over to you, Toastmaster Daisy.
Thank you, DTM Amjad. Good evening, everyone. And I am delighted to present the topic for today's table topic session. The ability to think on one's feet and speak on any topic is the culmination of anybody's speaking skill. Table topics helps us to reach this level, and thanks to DTM Amjad Ali, we are able to do this. We are able to practice this session in this wonderful platform. And let us start the session. I'll give a statement or I'll ask a question. As usual, you can agree on the statement or you can disagree on the statement or you can answer related to the topic. And there is nothing right or wrong, as Shakespeare said. It is only what we make out of it. So let us start the session. My first speaker today, I'll go with Toastmaster Farida, my favorite. Can I start?
Yes, good evening, Daisy.
Good evening. Anupama, you are ready? Toastmaster. Okay. The first topic, you get the love that you give. You get the love that you give.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. The topic which has been given to me by TM Daisy is you get the love that you give. I totally agree with it. This is how I feel about this topic. I totally 100% agree with it because I also believe in karma, not only with regards to love, but as regards to other things as well, as regards to respect, as regards to blessings, as regards to ill feelings, ill vibes, positive vibes. Whatever we give out to this universe, the universe is going to throw it back to us. This is very simple equation in this world until we reach the end of our life. So yes, I do believe in this, that if we give out love, we will receive love. And I have personally witnessed this in many instances. As a daughter towards my parents, I think I was the favorite daughter amongst our 6 siblings. Unfortunately, each one of us claims to be the favorite, so that is a little contestable. For my husband, I happen to be his favorite wife, as I'm the only one. For my children, each one of them individually tells me, Mom, you're the best, as if they had a choice. But I have some people in my lives who do have a choice. And they are my friends, they are my extended family members, they are my colleagues, my peers, and all of them, if I give out love to them, they love me in return. Sometimes with a little bit of something, they're expecting something in return, but most of the times it is unwarranted for. It is just pure love, trust, faith, and good vibes. And I totally agree with this topic. Thank you, TM Daisy. You've given me such a wonderful topic. And just before I end my speech, I would like to tell all of you, I love you all. I love you all. Thank you very much. Enjoy the evening.
That was a good speech with personal experience, Toastmaster Farida. Thank you. And let's call our second speaker, Toastmaster Sindhu.
Yes. Good evening, Daisy.
Good evening. World is a stage and we are all actors. This world is a stage and we are all actors. Over to you.
Good evening to all the Toastmasters over here, and a special good evening to our Table Topics Master and the time of the day. The world is the stage and we are all the actors. I do remember these are the great words of William Shakespeare. That is absolutely true. Whenever a day passes, at the end of the day, I just take all the things which happened on me. Whenever I'm introspecting, I used to think that I had happened to meet many new people, and some of them have made differences in my life. And from my birth till this day, I've met a lot of people, and each person in my life, that is whom I'm meeting, are creating differences. Like they are influencing my life, they are changing my life. And I just change according to their thoughts, the experiences which I received. I was not this person 10 years back. How I changed. I should not say that I have reached the culmination of the change, but I changed a little only because of the people around me. Actually, they are contributing to my behavior, to my life experiences, and some of the experiences, some are good and some are bad. I'll tell that those experiences with the people which are good, actually it led me to the goal, and from others I have learned that what not to do and how should I behave whenever any circumstances come or challenges come. So these are all the lessons for us. So I always felt like world is a stage. We are all the actors. Now I'm acting as a table topic speaker. Next, after this, I'll go act as a wife, I'll cook my food dinner. Then I'll just talk to my daughter. So there I'm a mother. When I talk to my mother, I'm her daughter. So when I talk to my students, I'm their teacher. So I have different roles to play in my life. So I'm really enjoying it. And I think I have more roles to come in future. I'll be definitely enjoying that. Wish you all the best. Over to you, Toastmaster Daisy. Thank you.
Well spoken, Toastmaster Sindhu. Now let's move on with the third speaker, Toastmaster Anushree. Anushree Sharma.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Okay. Good evening. Logic takes you somewhere. Imagination takes you everywhere. Logic takes you somewhere. Imagination takes you anywhere. Over to you.
Good evening, family and friends. Logic takes me somewhere and emotions. What was that?
Imagination.
Imagination takes me everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay. One word for all of you. Kiss. Kiss. So what is there in your imagination? Oh, I want to kiss somebody. I want to do something, right? So kiss is a very nice word and giving an imagination and different types of kiss. So all of your imagination can go wild and wherever you want to go, take it. But sir and ma'am, those who are sitting there, kiss is not that for me. You know what is that kiss for me? When I'm sitting in a meeting, we have a code word. Okay, I'm in my school, SMT members, senior management team, leaders, all when we are sitting. And I'm a person who speaks from heart, which is not appreciated. So this is the kiss which I'm getting from one of my dearest colleague and friend. That means keep it short, stupid. When I'm talking, she said she is giving me either this when nobody is seeing me, or otherwise anyways the chit will come, and if somebody will read, oh my god, what is happening between these two ladies? Oh, no, don't worry. So imagination is different, take you anywhere, but this kiss is, she is telling me, keep it short, stupid. You are not a toastmaster here. You cannot speak whatever you want. You should speak from your logic. Here, nobody is ready to listen your imaginations. So, see, this is the life. We have a logic, we have an imagination. It's over to you how much you will take from this kiss. Anyways, love you all. Over to you, ma'am.
That is humorously handled, Toastmaster Anushree Sharma. I loved it. And our next speaker, Toastmaster Savita.
Yes, please, Toastmaster Daisy.
Okay, for you, more than love, we need oxygen to live. You can agree or you can disagree. More than love, we need oxygen to live. Over to you, Toastmaster Savita.
Good evening, everyone. Oxygen or love? Two choices. I think oxygen, isn't it? Without oxygen, nobody can live. Few seconds, no oxygen, you're dead. And everybody says, without love, I cannot live. Without love, that is not possible. All these are stupid things. Because as the minute oxygen stops, you are no more. Let the love, let the wealth, let the health, anything lie there. But oxygen is the prime thing. That is the basic necessity to live. Food, water, air. Out of these three things, food you can stay for a long time, so many days. Water also you can stay for many hours, but without oxygen, few seconds. And see the nature, the God, the Almighty has given us in abundance this oxygen, and we don't value. We just take it for granted in a way like we are not taking care part of the nature part, which makes it, the conversion of oxygen to carbon dioxide. We are removing so many places, so many countries are not taking care of the nature. So oxygen is becoming less, environment is getting affected. So we have to take care of that oxygen part in the nature. And love becomes secondary when the question of life and death comes. Love becomes at the end, it comes at the second stage when the question of existence is there. So for me, I will conclude, yes, oxygen is primary thing and love becomes secondary when there is a question of life. Over to you, Toastmaster Daisy.
Thank you, Savita. I think I would have chosen oxygen. Next, our next speaker, our timer, Toastmaster Anupama. Can someone handle our timing? Okay, Toastmaster Abhinav will do the timer for Toastmaster Anupama. So the topic for Toastmaster Anupama, this lockdown made me chubby, chubbier, and chubbiest. This lockdown made me chubby, chubbier, and chubbiest. Over to you, Toastmaster Anupama.
Yeah.
Did you get the topic?
Yes, I got it very well. It's ideal for me, I think.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. This topic is very apt for me because every year I have a target that I should, my dress, my t-shirt size should reduce from XL to L and then S. But now, thanks to the lockdown, it's just increasing from XL to double XL. And now I have stopped, even I'm just wearing my nightie or just a gown. So thanks to this lockdown, it has really made me very chubby. I feel my cheeks and all have been filled as though with air balloon or something. It's just filled everywhere. And luckily I'm not standing, otherwise you will know that everywhere it is filled. So thanks to the lockdown, it has really uh, made me taste all the food, everything, whatever I see. I do some work, I take a break and eat something as if it's my right. So thanks to the lockdown, luckily the door in my house is pretty broad that I can leave and go out. Otherwise it would have been very difficult. Somebody should have pushed me out of the house. So this lockdown has really got the chubby out of me, that the maximum I can blow, I have shown it. So I still have the capacity. I know as long as there are dresses made for people like me, I can make good use of it. So over to the table topic now.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anupama, for the honest and humorous reply. Next, let me go call Toastmaster Sudeep.
Yes, madam.
Okay. For you, journey is, can you switch on the video, please? Yeah, I can see you now. Okay. For you, journey is more important than destination. Journey is more important than destination.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you, Toastmaster, for Daisy ma'am, for allocating me this topic. I totally agree with the topic that has been assigned to me, that journey is more important than destination. For me, I would like to put this particular statement in such a way that winning is not important. Taking participation or putting an effort is an important thing. If suppose we have assigned a job to do a particular thing which we are not comfortable in terms of doing exercise on a regular basis, which most of the human beings shy to do this particular thing on a regular basis. But taking an effort 3 days or 4 days in a week will lead to a goal which it can be appreciable in a long term. Here I would also like to add two principles of management, that is 80-20 principle. I mean, taking 20% of the efforts and getting 80% result. So for me, I would like to take this particular thing in such a way that you take small steps, enjoy that particular experience. Experience is such a beautiful term that cannot be shared, that cannot be expressed, but experiencing that particular thing is more important. It is in the same way as that if you just keep on looking at for the recipes that you like, but it won't be fulfilled until unless you cooked it with your hands and experience it. So at the end, I would like to conclude is that going to the destination is not important as enough. I mean, just to experience it and follow the entire journey. Over to the Toastmaster Daisy madam and to other participants. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that wonderful tale. Next, we'll have Toastmaster Jaya. Toastmaster Jaya.
Yeah, a very good evening.
Good evening.
Toastmaster Daisy.
Good evening. Your topic is company is more important than the journey. Company is more important than the journey.
A very good evening to all the Toastmaster and your guests. Company is more important than the journey. I think it all depends. I think humans are social beings, So when it comes to a certain journey, we would always want a company to pass time with, to make the journey more enjoyable and and which makes it feel less time. So yes, most of us would prefer companies, and there are few people who are loners. They would love to be alone in the journey and enjoy the views, the natural views. And also they would rather be alone and with a book to read and be by themselves. So yes, so definitely the journey, the company is more important than the journey for most of us. Over to you.
That's well answered, Toastmaster Jaya. Next, we'll go to Toastmaster Umar. Toastmaster Umar.
Yes.
Father's Day is more popular than Mother's Day. Father's Day is more popular than Mother's Day. Do you agree or disagree?
Actually, I think Miss Daisy is taking revenge from me, giving me a tricky question. So that is, without any doubt, I will say that Mother's Day is very important. I have always been a mother's son, and I can say openly that I love my mother more than my father. So it has been naturally. It is always, you say, people say that daughters are more friendlier with the fathers, and sons are close to the mother. So my relationship with my mother has always been the pillar of my life, like foundation that I have built my life around. And my mother has always said to me, and I always remember this thing wherever I am going, in whatever stage of life I am, she always says to me, Umar, don't forget your roots. Don't forget that where you have come from and where you are standing. Don't forget who you are and where you belong. So she has been the main source of my strength in my life, and I know she has gone through a lot, very challenging. She is the, like, according to me, she's the most brave woman I have been seen, because she has lived with my father over 50 years, and she is still surviving. So it's a biggest challenge she has taken up, and I just hats off to her to be able to live with that man and to have that courage. And so a lot of times in her time, she got married at the age of 14, and quite early in her life. So she has seen a lot of things. And in the on the, if we compare generation to generation, that generation you have to make a lot of compromises, and you have to go through a lot of things, and you have to stay silent. Those things have given me more appreciation for her, and drawn me more closer to her, and a lot of values that I have are due to her. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar. Mother's sentiment always wins. So you won today. And my next speaker is Toastmaster Ajay. Toastmaster Ajay? Yes. So the topic for you, having a poor father is bad luck. Having a poor father-in-law is a poor judgment.
Oh,
Having a poor, can I repeat?
Yeah.
Having a poor father is bad luck. Having a poor father-in-law is poor judgment.
Wow. I, for one, can tell you I totally disagree with this particular topic. My father came from an extremely poor background, from a situation at the age of 13, 3, when children are playing. He was the person who was selling bread from home to home on a bicycle, driving 10 kilometers up and down on the village. Poor background to the extent that he would have to probably make his daily bread by the sales he did every day. I can never say that it is misfortune or unlucky that I have a father like him, because he built in certain value systems from his experiences, the value not of money, but the value of hard work, and how situations and how resilience can be built over disadvantages or really trodden situations. And that he built in me. So I'm very fortunate that my father came from a poor background. When it comes to the father-in-law not being, rich, it's bad judgment. Again, I disagree, because my father-in-law, despite being not that great or very, rich in that respect, whatever it is, he was a service-oriented man. He is from he was coming and giving all his services to humanity. And fortunately, that element he has inculcated in his children. And that service inculcation, doesn't depend on the money he had. That service, character which is inculcated, has culminated into a situation that I fell in love with his daughter. And she is here on this forum, and I'm proud that my father was poor. And it was not my bad luck, it was my good judgment, because I saw the service element. And here she is with me as my life partner. Over to you, Daisy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Ajay. I'm glad I gave the topic to you. Amazing speech. Next, Hongli, Toastmaster Hongli. Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Best view of the world is from your balcony or through your TV. You get the best view of the world from your balcony or through your TV. Over to you, Toastmaster Hongli.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. So for me, the best view for me is not from the TV and also not from the balcony, but it's from my bedroom, because actually in reality my bedroom have the very great view, so that I can see the sunrise and sunsets every day. So in fact, it's good for me to look at the sun and see everyone doing exercise and do everything every day. I believe that the best view for me is not from the TV, not from something that is not real, but come from something real in practice. So from that topic, I think the most greatest and is interesting experience for expression is come from the real life, but not come from something that we can touch or we can feel about that. With that, I personally believe that enjoying every moment in life with the true feeling is always the best and much more better than just living with something that is not exist in our life. So with that, thank you very much, and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hongli, for that wonderful take.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on with the Toastmaster DTM Jesse D'Souza. To you, the question is: time moves slow when you want it to move fast. time moves slow when you want it to move fast? Over to you, DTM Jesse.
Yes, Toastmaster Daisy and fellow Toastmasters. Time moves slow when I want it to go faster. When do I feel that time moves slow? When I'm in the office and when I don't have any work. I just want that time to tick faster and finish at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I want to move. But when I am with the friends or talking to somebody on that topic and suddenly realize I have crossed over 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, time is goes so fast and you don't realize. So it depends where and where you are spending your time. If you love something, time moves, but you don't know how fast the time flew. When you have dislike against anybody and or maybe in a different situation, then time does not move. Particularly sometimes children, for children in the school, maybe time doesn't go fast. Leave them in the playground, they will never come home back. Time goes fast. It all depends where you are. For some, at some points, if you dislike areas of work or maybe even going to places that you don't want to go, but you have to go, you have to do certain things for the society and all, their time does not move fast when you want it to go faster. So all in all, I say time is stationary. Time is for the one who's enjoying and the one who is drudging. It's the same, but it depends how much enthusiastic you are with the time that matters. Over to you, Daisy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jesse, for that wonderful take. Next in my list, Toastmaster Marutesh. Toastmaster Marutesh, see here. Yes. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, well, yes, very good topic. Most of the time, we will judge the book by its cover, but it is not a reality. In most of the situation, we will we will we will take this decision by uh, by seeing that one. But when we want to we should not judge the cover because cover they will do some designs, but it will not go good if hence the main story is the important. uh, if we think about if we read the book, how they wrote, how they use the words, that it is easy to understand. Like that we should see that book. Based on the book we can take the decision. Some book will be very attractive in other place, but it will not easy to understand. There will be more of the jargons. Then for the beginner it will take a lot of time to understand. Hence this same story, the author may they will not do so much of design in the outer cover page, but they use the easy words. It will be easy to understand. Hence, whenever we take the book, we should read the concepts. We will come to know the reality. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster.
It's beautifully answered, Toastmaster Maritish. Next, Toastmaster Abdul. Toastmaster Abdul.
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah. The topic for you, sales is determined by the smartness of the salesman, then the quality of the product. Sales is determined by the smartness of the salesman, then the quality of the product. You can agree or disagree.
Yeah. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to ask you a question. If a salesman comes from any company, you look at this salesman, what he preaches, or you look at the brand of the company. So hope you all agree, you look at the brand of the company. If anything coming from the Amazon, whoever is or Microsoft or Intel or any branded companies, what you will do, whatever talks salesman, it doesn't matter, but you'll go ahead and buy that product because that trust has come over a period of time. You look at the brand. You cannot just develop the brand just by talking. Even in your workplace, you can see that if you are talking very good, talking communication skills are important, but over a period of time, people look at your each and every task, how efficiently you are doing. And over a period of time, they will get to know about your honesty, integrity, how authentic you are at the work. And over a period of time, the brand gets built. And once that is built, and it will retain for a longer period of time. What if a salesman comes and explain you about the product, and if it is good, and if you buy that product, if something happens to you, like then the trust on the brand itself will go away. I don't agree. Salesmen need to have the skill set of talking, like not in terms of selling the bad product, maybe in terms of telling the qualities in a beautiful way so that customer understands it and what is the brand value of it. So everything revolves around the brand these days, which brand the product belongs, rather than what salesman speaks. And I would like to conclude by saying that communication skills are important, but you need to build a brand over a period of time by doing good things. You can see Amjad Ali sir posting a lot of videos. I get inspired by seeing he has built over a period of time that brand. You cannot just post one video and talk beautifully and build overnight that brand itself. So I disagree with the topic. Just by talking, you can't sell the product. Or over to Daisy.
Oh, correctly said, Toastmaster Abdul. Next, our speaker is Toastmaster Clyde Tellis. Am I pronouncing the name correctly? Toastmaster Clyde Tellis. See here? Okay. Next is Toastmaster Nada Farah. Toastmaster Nada. She was here sometime ago.
Good evening, Nada Fanari.
Yes, Nada Fanari. Yes.
Yes. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. And the topic for you.
Yes, please.
Broader knowledge base is better than deeper knowledge. Broader knowledge base is better than deeper knowledge.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster. Good evening, darling guest. Sometimes, yes, I agree. Sometimes we don't need to know everything deeper. We just to know small things about everything. But we definitely will choose one topics or one subject. We go and know exactly deeper and deeper. It gives us more confidence and it helps us to build up ideas if we want to talk about something. And also it helps us to just to, it might be if we choose it by our passion, if we choose that subject, we like to go deeper and deeper. But for the most of the things in life, we don't need to waste too much time, but it's very important to know small things about everything. And when a lot, and a lot of things about one things. Thank you. Over to you.
That's beautifully answered, Toastmaster Nada. My next speaker, Toastmaster Rajeshwari. Toastmaster Rajeshwari.
Yes, dear.
Yes. Apparel often proclaims the man. Apparel often proclaims the man. It's a quote from Shakespeare.
I didn't understand, dear.
Apparel is...
Give me another topic otherwise.
Okay, it is better to accept than to fight. It is better to accept than to fight.
Oh, okay.
Than to fight.
Sorry, dear, I'm not getting anything.
Okay, no problem. You want me to give one more?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't own things. The things you own you. You don't own things. The things you own you.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Yes.
And distinguished guests, if any. I'm basically not a materialistic person. So having said that, taking the decision, or like as you mentioned earlier about judging a book by its cover, something like that, instead of making our mind with the materialistic things, it's better we go and identify the beauty of a person by his thoughts, by his way of life, and by what he has made, his presence, and has we value what he has given to the society. So considering that fact, that the value of a person, or it's not materialistic, how rich a person is, which car he owns, so immaterial of those things, we have to value the person by his deeds. So that's what values me. Thank you.
That's well taken, Toastmaster Rajeshwari. My next speaker, Toastmaster Abhinav Gaur. Toastmaster Abhinav.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it is always too early to quit. It is always too early to quit. This is a quote from Norman Vincent Peale.
It is always too early to quit. Well, if we talk about quitting, there is no perfect time for quitting, because quitting itself is the most negative thing in one's life. If you want to quit a bad habit, then yes, this is the right time. If you want to quit smoking, if you want to quit drinking, this is the right time. But if you want to quit a good habit or a good thing which you want to pursue, then no, never ever you'll find the right time to quit anything. In my life, I tried many new things, and sometimes I quit them just because I was not able to pursue it. Like I tried to learn a keyboard. I tried hard, maybe not hard enough, and then I quit. I tried to learn guitar as well. I tried hard, but again, I never put my heart and soul to learn it, and I quit. This is the actual problem. When we try something, we have a great enthusiasm. Yes, we will do it. Yes, I will become the next Yanni or next Michael Jackson or anything. But then slowly, this thing goes down. Why this is happening? Because another thing is attracting us, or we are attracted towards something else, and then we start losing our focus on the old thing and then pursuing new things. This is very common phenomena. So how to overcome this thing? I have a small trick which I follow. Whenever I want to do something new, you have a sticky notes. I guess you must have seen a sticky notes. So whenever I have to pursue something, so I place a sticky note in my wall, which is right in front of me. So every time that when I see that sticky note, it reminds me something that you have to do something, you have to pursue this thing. In this way, I follow my passion, my hobbies, or whatever. Recently, I started learning Rubik's cubes from 1st of January. Until now, I am able to solve 25 different Rubik's cubes, and this hunt is going on, and I will never quit this hobby. So this small tip: put a reminder in front of you. It will remind you about not to quit. Over to you, table topic master.
Oh, that's wonderful, Toastmaster Abhinav. My next speaker, Toastmaster Binal Shah. Toastmaster Binal Shah.
Yes, good evening, table topic master, Miss Daisy.
Yeah, can I give the same question to you? Apparel often proclaims the man. Apparel is the
Clothing.
dress.
Okay, fine, I will try for it. Okay, first of all, wonderful evening to fellow Toastmaster and everyone. Apparel is like the character, how you dress up. It shows your nature or your personality, how you dress up, how you present yourself in the company or in the society. So it's all depends upon how more creative you are or how more colorful you are. So it shows on your dressing sense. So it's like more you are a creative or more you are like lively persons, your clothing will be also very much colorful, lively. It's like that. It shows the personality of a person. And even the apparel also depends on the weather condition. If the weather is hot, we will go for cotton. If weather is winter, we will go for woolen apparels. So it's all on the nature. This depends on the nature, environment, and it's also influences the occasions and festives. So the culminative of this topic is to enjoy what the apparels and what you are wearing it, and that's it from my side. Thank you.
Oh, that's nicely taken. Thank you, Toastmaster Binal Shah. My next speaker, Toastmaster Azim Muhammad. Toastmaster Azim Muhammad.
Good evening, table topic master.
Good evening. Okay, for you, the question is, some cause happiness wherever they go, some cause happiness whenever they go. Some cause happiness wherever they go, some cause happiness whenever they go, or whenever they live.
Okay. Very good evening, one and all. So the topic which is given to me is some cause happiness wherever they go and some cause happiness wherever they go. So the way I actually look at it is, yes, there are people who actually are source of happiness, entertainment. So they spread wherever they go. I mean, they spread the happiness, and it doesn't matter where they are, but they try to make the environment, the ambience very positive. Because that's the, I mean, I think the way I look at it, the Toastmasters is a very a family which actually, wherever people go, they become the cause of spreading that happiness, positivity. And yeah, some people are skilled enough to be the source of positivity whenever they want. So this is again more applicable to where I feel in the corporate world, we see that, some people are sort of more positive and stuff. So I think if I have to put it in this way, so yes, some are have caliber to cause and become the source of happiness for on different occasions. So with this, over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Zid, for that.
Thank
Next is Toastmaster Wafa. Yes.
Yes.
For you, the question is: to err is human. To put the blame on the other guy is even more human.
Yes, amazing. Right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a very good Friday, wherever you are. To err is human, it is. But I love to do it. If I make a mistake, I love to blame it on my husband. So it is. And I am so grateful that I've married this man and he still believes, he knows how to make it up. He knows that I never make a mistake and I'm so proud of myself. He tells his children, your mommy is never wrong, and I'm so proud of myself. So you see, I'm never wrong, but yet I am wrong again. Because sometimes we make mistakes and we never realize that. We need to culminate ourselves that we do what works best for ourselves. But again, I trust my husband and I believe whatever he thinks is right. So I appreciate his thoughts and I love him more every day for that. So I'm going to go what he says, that yes, I'm never wrong. But I also agree with you. But I let others think what they want to think. Over to you for the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wafa. You're just like me, blaming it on your husband. Thank you. Next is Toastmaster Michelle. Toastmaster Michelle. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. For you, just a simple one. Can I give the question?
Sure.
Yes. That won't happen to me. That won't happen to me.
That won't happen to me.
Yeah. Can say anything.
That's a very good one. That won't happen to me. A couple years ago, I had a friend and he culminated his career a very poor person. And the reason for that is because he lived life freely. He lived life as though it would end tomorrow. So he would spend lavishly. He would do crazy stuff. He will go on long vacations, and he would use his salary month to month to do the most craziest things that we would not normally do. Any level-headed person would not normally do. That would not happen to me because I learn from him. I learned that I will need to invest. I learned that I will need to do what I have to do to prepare for my olden days, and only then I will be able to take those long, lovely vacations that he usually took. Back to you, table topics, Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Michelle, for that beautiful speech. And next is Toastmaster Monu Sahu.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. It's better to be a big fish in a small pond than a small fish in a big pond. Better to be a big fish in a small pond than a small fish in a big pond.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, all Toastmaster. So it is good to have a big fish in a small pond. So first of all, I would say it's quite not easy to stay in a small pond if we are big, because in this circumstances we feel a human need to be adjust everywhere, whether it is a small or big pond. In our life, we say that we are living everywhere. In our journey from our childhood to end, we have faced so many things. We have lived our life with so many people in our family, after few years with our friends, after few years with our college friends, after few years with our spouse, and after with our office member, and at the end with some old ages guy. So what happens in different culture, sometimes happens we could not able to communicate well with all members. So this would be good for us to learn how we have to adjust everywhere, because if we will not adjust everywhere, then this will be tricky for us. So the qualities we have to inculcate ourselves to be adjust everywhere, because a big fish, yes, cannot be adjust in a small pond, but the fish need to be learn how they can adjust in a small pond. So with that, I would like to say that in this circumstances, in this cultures, we have to learn so many things. We need to understand, we need to learn so many things from all of the members who is living around us. With that, I would like to say we need to convey a lot of the things, the members, and learn a lot of the things so that we could adjust ourselves. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Monu, for that beautiful answer. Next is Toastmaster Jaya Jaggi. Jaya Jaggi.
She is not there.
Okay, then Toastmaster Tushita. Okay, Toastmaster Tushita.
Yes, madam.
Okay. To heal a wound, you need to stop touching it. To heal a wound, you need to stop touching it. You can agree or disagree.
Wound can be a physical wound, or it can be a psychological wound. Wounds created by harsh words, harsh gestures can be painful like physical wounds. When we, as human beings, when we do something wrong to another person, we have to apologize and forget it. And then we have to forgive, because human beings can make mistakes. And after forgiving also, when we speak about it, and when we reflect and think about it, and then it will be more painful. It's, as one of the topics said, to err is human and to forgive is divine.
Latoya, call the people.
When every time when a person does something to us, if we tend to think over and over again, it will be so painful. Therefore, in life, when things go wrong, what we have to do is we have to forgive that person and forget it. Then we can stop painful experience. Over to you, Madam Topic Master.
Beautifully answered, Toastmaster Tushita. And our next speaker is Toastmaster Anagha. Toastmaster Anagha?
Yes.
Kindness is weakness. Kindness is weakness.
Thank you for that wonderful topic. Kindness is weakness, because if you're kind, people try to take advantage of your kindness and use it for their own benefit. This usually culminates into a fight, and either of you are never happy. So in life, what happens is that kindness, you are doing it for your happiness and your satisfaction, but a person can take it in a different way. But since your conscience is clear that you did it for yourself and for that person to be genuinely happy, so in that sense, kindness is really not weakness, because you are so strong to give that kindness to someone else, because you have it in you and that you have shared it with someone. So I would say kindness is strength. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Daisy.
Thank you, Anaha, for that wonderful answer. Next is Toastmaster Najla. Toastmaster Najla, she was here.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, okay. Laundry is the only thing that should be separated by color. Laundry is the only thing that should be separated by color.
Good evening, Toastmaster, Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmaster. I have too much laundry today that I finish, but still I have another laundry to do tomorrow. But you know what? When I finish them today, I discovered that my red dress make the other dresses also red, unfortunately. So they became all the same color, unfortunately. So I have again to separate and find out which one was white, which one was yellow, and which one was red, and where is the original one which make the other color of the same with the first one. This is the same thing happening with the life and the people. If we are mixing everybody, we will not find any difficulties in dealing with each other, because we are dealing with each other as the same person, as the same natural human sense. So to culminate myself and my personality to do this level, that was very difficult. And I wash and I wash and I wash every day just to find out which is the colorful and the non-colorful people. And I find out that so many people in my life are very colorful, that to the extent that I take from their color to make up and develop my own personality based on that, and to learn from them. So at the conclusion, so just keep washing and keep doing the laundry to find out your own color or your own mix, or who's matching with you. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Najla. I think we finished everyone except Toastmaster Amjad Ali, DTM Amjad. Can I ask you?
Yes, ma'am, you're the boss.
People love to watch you, but not appreciate you. People love to watch you, but not appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Madam Topics Master. People love to watch you, but they don't want to appreciate you. It's a sheer example of social media. When I upload video, it reaches to millions in terms of views, but in terms of hearts, it's few thousands, depending on the video, or video length, or the content. Exactly. And some few months back, one of my colleagues, he asked me, sir, when you upload your videos, they are going viral, people are viewing it, but we don't receive any much comments or hearts or likes. I said, no. When you start your journey, when people are actually growing in their lives, people are watching them. So pay attention on the views, people are watching you. Likes will follow later when you will become an empire. So I completely agree with the statement. That's a bitter reality of our life. It's not from other people, it's from your own family members. It's from your own close circle. Your likes, your love starts coming from the people who are from your outer circle, who don't know you. They respect you more. They treat you more respectively or with more respect. So we have to accept with this one. Sometimes this dilemma dilutes our interest. People give up. And I have, by the way, by chance, by the grace of Almighty, I've learned this trick very early in my age. So I felt, Amjad, does not matter how good or bad you are. Continue pouring your content. One day, it will blast. And it will happen. Sometimes it happens. One video takes your entire content to millions. So this will happen to you if you are on a journey of similar making in content or on social media. Wait, keep pouring, keep making, and believe in yourself. One day, your time is going to come. I completely agree with the statement. People watch you, but they don't appreciate you. One day, they will have no option but to appreciate you. Back to you, ma'am.
Thank you, DTM Amjad. That was a wonderful answer, truthful answer. So I think I am done with everyone.
Thank you so much for your conduct. And we have somebody special all the way from Saudi Arabia to trouble you. His name is Umar. He will give you the topic.
Umar, go easy on me.
No, you want an easy topic or tough one?
Easy.
Okay. So, very easy topic. What is the difference between human being and being human? I'll repeat. Human being and being human. What is the difference?
I think my assistant will answer this question better than me. So I am passing this question to him.
Sorry for the interruption. He will have a separate question, please. To answer, ma'am. He will have a separate question.
Oh, no.
We will give.
No. Please.
I have come here only to do the assistant's role. I am in no way a participant. So
No,
I
sir.
think.
No, sir. You will have separate question. Sorry. With due respect.
Well, that was a part of the deal, is it? No? Go ahead.
Yeah, we can give.
They want to hear your mellifluous voice, please.
Yes. So
what's the question? Please tell
I'll
me.
repeat. What is the difference between human being and being human?
We are all human beings. Everybody, whoever is born in this world, we are all human beings. But it's very difficult to show that human quality when you need to show it to others. When somebody is suffering, when somebody needs your, need to show that when somebody is looking for that kindness from you, you need to show it to prove that you are a real human being. Otherwise, we are same with other, we are same like animals. Human being, everybody is a human being, but to be a human, it takes more power, more something more than what you have, what you need. That's very difficult, but we are all human beings, and we are all trying to be human, and we are. I think we are all succeeding in this. At least in our group, I am feeling we are all humans. Over to you, Toastmaster Umar.
Thank you so much, Daisy. And I have a question for Mr. Xavier. Can you just turn the camera towards him? All right.
Hard wala then hard.
Yeah, your topic,
They are going to
topic
do
is
a hard
very
one.
simple. Life reciprocates, be nice to it. Life reciprocates, be nice to it. Over to you.
Fundamentally, I'm tongue-tied when I'm in the company of my wife, but I think probably a miracle is happening and all the stars have aligned. I'm able to open my mouth and say something. So you say that life is a mirror and we have to be nice. Essentially, we receive what we give. What goes around comes around. We all think that whatever we do, our actions do not have consequences. We all know it as a theory. We all know it as a statement. But when it comes to real living, oftentimes we don't realize that whatever we do now, eventually it circles back and comes to us. If you see most of the topics that have been selected by my good lady, resonates this. What you do, what goes out, comes out. So we have to constantly remember this whenever we talk, in our words, in our actions and deeds, we have to constantly remember that life is a wall. It just bounces back what we give it to it. Life is a mirror. Just shows. Mirror doesn't have a moral dimension. You smile, it will smile at you. You cry, the mirror will weep at you. So life, the incident, the event, they don't have any moral dimension. They don't have even emotional dimension. They just give it back to us. But what we do, we say, we pine and groan and moan and say, life has never been fair. People are not fair. They have not been nice to us. I've been so good to people, but people are not good to me. We all go into the victim mode. We all think that fundamentally, constantly, we have been at the receiving end. We have been getting the short end of the stick. But definitely no. If you are good to others, life will be good to you. If you are good to others, apart from life being good to you, you'll be best to yourself. Life is like a bunch of flowers. The flower that you bestow to others, the fragrance lingers in you. So let us be good to others. Let us be good in our actions. Let us be good in our thought, and life will give the good back to us. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Wow, wow, wow. What a culmination of today's session, session 48, with a beautiful couple with beautiful messages. Can we all give her a big hand, please? All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Daisy, for culminating this session brilliantly, brilliantly. Now, can we go to our Madam Timer, Toastmaster Anaga, to just acquaint us with the timing report, please.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Everybody, there were no defaulters or nothing. Everybody completed in time. Actually, Daisy just completed at 1 minute before I could show the light. She finished. So she completed exactly at 1 minute. So everybody finished on time. Thank you.
May I take, ladies and gentlemen, may I take the liberty of saying something, if you don't mind, please?
Please.
Yeah, yes, I'm mindful of the time factor, and then Toastmaster Anupama can really make good use of the power that is bestowed on her. I've been a corporate. Yes, please.
Let me just close the video of recording, then we can start. Let me just adjourn the meeting.
I apologize.
No problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your participation, your presence, really making a difference to people's lives. With this, Pav Vasarmi, as the host of this very meeting, I adjourn the meeting. Now over to each one of you to have fun and chit chat. Thank you so much.